This is David Bem out of Lotto Odds, and it is May 16th, 2025. Okay, I want to show you a very simple strategy, okay, that implements, okay, or incorporates PS8 and PS9. You know they win a lot, okay? For example, if you look in Georgia, and the strategy I'm about to show you is very powerful, very few numbers, and I'm telling you, you will win a lot and big, okay, even with double numbers. So just put on your thinking cap and follow me, okay? So look, 8 and 9. All right, this is Georgia. Oh, look at that. Hold on. See, look at that. Look at the 8 9. I'm talking about 8 9. Look, back to backs. Just killing it, this state. And there's other states like this too, like Indiana and stuff. It's mostly all the states hit the 8 9 often. So I'm going to show you this now, okay? There's two important things I need to show you here that's going to be part of the strategy. All right? Let us do this. Bear with me. I want to try to fit this all in here. All right, good. This side here. Okay. All right, well, anyway, I could scroll it. This is 8 nines. Look at 8 nines. This is just in May. Hold on, let me remove the 12. 12's out over 100 draws, 121 draws. Okay, so look at this. Almost every day. Look, this week has hit every single day, the 8 and 9. Even multiple times a day. Georgia has 3 draws a day. Look, on here on the 12th and on the 14th, it hit all 3 draws. Okay? Look, even the week before that, it hit every single day. It's no brainer. You play the 8 and 9s. You play the 8 and 9s, and you will win big. That's the first thing I want to show you. Now, part of the strategy, you're going to be playing the 8 and 9s. Part of the strategy is you're going to reduce the numbers, filter down the numbers by FSBs. Look how many times FSBs hit. You see all that? You see that? Here, let me show you here. I could actually isolate the FSBs like that. Okay? Look at how many times FSBs hit. All right? Hold on a second. 14, yep. Okay. Look how many times FSBs hit in a week. Look at that. Look at the previous week. They hit almost every single day FSB. Okay? So don't you think that's what you should be focusing on as well? You should be focusing on the 8s and 9s and the FSBs. And I'm going to show you what the result is. All right? And how you're going to get these numbers. I want you to understand, first, I wanted you to understand this, okay? The concept of the PS8s and 9s with the FSBs. That's how the strategy begins. That's what we focus on, okay? Now, I want you to show you this. Okay, we're going to create, or you're going to create a chart like this, okay? You can create this in Word document, all right? And you can even copy these. You could actually just, even from this video, you could just go like this, copy from your browser. I do Command-Shift-4, copy it like that, and there you go. You got a copy like that, okay? All right, so and you can put it in the Word document like this, create it on your own. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? This is 822, right? Look, 912, 921. What's here? 822, 912. And let me isolate those, okay? You can add the 831 and the 813, which don't hit that often, but they'll have a few numbers. You can add it in with this strategy, because there's going to be a few numbers with that also. Look, let's isolate. We're going to do 2 1 and 2 2, right? So do like that. Look at that. Look at that. So now you know. 9s, 8s and 9s, FSBs, right? 8s and 9s. 8s are going to be 822, 912, okay? And you know what? Let us add 2 1 right there. Look at that, okay? And look at the FSBs still hitting, coming out, okay? You get it hit for the week. multiple hits in the week. And if you want to add the 812s, if you want to add all of them, you'll get more FSBs hit. You see what I'm saying? And less numbers. And look how many numbers there are. Right here, what I did, I just did the 822s, 912, and 921. But I'm going to add the 812 and the 831 because there's such few numbers. Let me show you. 3 numbers, 822, only 3 numbers. If 822 hits the next draw, and if it's FSB, see FSBs, I'm going to show you how to get this with the filter, with the draw count filter. Okay, how to get these numbers in a minute. This is 4 numbers. Here's 0, 4, 5 here, okay, and 3 numbers here. That's 4 numbers just for this chart. 822 hits with FSB. One of these will be the winner. I'm telling you now, the program works, and one of these 4 will win. All right, 912. Look how many you have here. 6 numbers only. 6 numbers only. Okay, and here you have 921. Look at that. You've got 9 numbers there. 9 numbers. So that's 9 right there. That's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 numbers. You're covering 3 pair sums. Okay? And you can add the 813 and the 831. All right? And these haven't even been filtered down anymore. It was just took the ones that had the FSBs in it. You see that? FSBs. That's all it did. And this is what you have. All right? This is huge, and you can win big with this with very few numbers. Okay? The proof is there. Look, the proof is there. Look at all the FSBs that hit in a week. This is where you'll win. You'll win all these. Every time they come out, the FSBs, you will win. Okay? The program works. The winners will always be in there. If it's FSB, that's the number. Okay? Now let me show you how to grab these numbers and create this chart. I've showed you that. I showed you how to create the chart in yesterday's video, so you should go look at that so I don't make this video too long. All right? But this is where you grab the numbers, okay? Look, just go to Lotto Pool. This is stage 1 of Lotto Pool. We're going to add stage 2 here where you pay and everything. You could track a history of the numbers and everything. Everybody be playing. But that's later. But you're going to use this. You're going to use the draw here. You see with L1 and H9 on this side. Okay, L1 on this side, M3C. Okay, let me show you here. All right, let me show you here. All right, so now you see where it says L1s, green, green, and then here, green, brown, and then here, brown, green, and then brown, brown. Those are L1s. There's 4 sections in the chart, right? And then you have the M3C sections where you put the 822s and 912s and everything like that. You see that? They also have green, 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 brown, brown, green. You see that? Right? A mixture. All right? Combinations. That's what you do here. You start with the green, green. You click on the green, green there, and then you start going one by one with this. See? Green, 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 green. Green, 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 brown. Green, green, brown, green. Green, green, brown, brown. That's it. So here, green, 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 green. Green, 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 brown. Right? Green, green, brown, green. Green, green, brown, brown. And you do that for each one of these, and you'll have your full chart, okay? And then what you're going to do also, if you don't want to play doubles, and there's very few doubles, okay? Very few doubles. You see I did charts here, the same charts, and they came out with very few doubles. There was 3 and 1, 1 there, so that's 4, 4, 4. There was 9, 4. There was 9 doubles. And those 3 charts, there was only 9 doubles. So if you want to play doubles, go ahead and play doubles. Me, I wouldn't play doubles with the 8, 9 because they don't come out often. Maybe once a week or whatever. I wouldn't even play them. If you want to, you could. But anyway, I'd save you money. Unless you just want to play doubles all week. But anyway, this is the best strategy with the singles. So go ahead and isolate the singles. All right, hold on. Go ahead and isolate the singles right there. All right, and then what you're going to do as well is you're going to isolate the FSBs, okay? You're going to isolate the FSBs. There you go, FSBs. I think this will happen by 1 and 1. You know what you could do, which will be better? This actually does pairs. That's why it's called pairs, like that. See that? FSBs. You see, there's the FSBs right there, right? It's not going to come out like that. But then what you do, you're going to isolate, say, for example, 822 you're working on, right? So you're doing singles and then the pair sums. Isolate the pair sums, right? When you start going through this, okay? When you start going through this, it's going to show you the FSBs. You're not going to have all these numbers like this, okay? It's going to reduce the numbers and you're going to have less numbers and you're going to see where the FSBs land. All you have to do is just grab the FSBs, okay? That's all you have to do. Grab the FSB numbers and then put them in the chart, okay, where they belong. All right, here, let me show you here. All right, I did, first one is green, green, okay? And look what you have here. You have front, front. Remove that, remove that, remove that, remove that. There's no FSBs here, okay? Then you do the next one. You create that chart and you just grab the FSBs. Okay, if there's no FSBs, just put none in the chart. Okay, just put none like I have there. See, none, a lot of nuns there. A lot of nuns, it sounded funny. But anyway, a lot of nuns here, okay? But anyway, so you see what I get here? Very few numbers. Very, very few numbers. These numbers will win. This is a killer strategy. A killer. And the proof is right in front of your eyes. Okay, the chart doesn't lie. All right, the chart doesn't lie. All right, here, let me show you this one. Enlarge it. Okay, the chart doesn't lie. Look at all the FSBs. Okay, this is FSB. Okay, here's one FBS if you want to play FBS, but FBS is the doubles. Comes out with doubles. I'll stay away from the doubles because you see how singles dominate. Look at it. You could be winning all these with so easy, so easy. Let the program give you the numbers. Isolate the 8 and 9s, right? Play for the FSBs, okay? That's it. That's all this system is, or the strategy is. It's very simple, but it will win a lot, okay? And it shows you right here how many times a week you can win. Multiple times a week with very few numbers, all right? I wish you luck.